What's up, reptile fans? Dave Palumbo here from Muscle Serpents Daily, and it's Monday morning, and we're back. And today we're going to be talking about trades. You know, in the python and boa breeding world, you know, sometimes the best stuff you get is stuff you trade with other people. You know, you don't always have to exchange cash. The old barter system is great. You got a snake someone wants, and they got some snakes you want. You can make a deal happen. So I'm going to show you some of the good trades that I picked up maybe over the years, or actually one of the ones I just got recently from my friend Doug Shederick. I know he watches these videos. I gave him a bunch of really nice boas, and he gave me a bunch of nice ball pythons, and it worked out pretty well. Here's a Key West fire diamond albino, and that's the sharp albino I have here that I picked up from a friend of mine, and we did a crazy trade last year for this little girl, and she's been growing well, and hopefully by next year she'll be breeding. And who knows what we'll make from her. I don't even know who else I'm going to pair her up with, but I got a pretty good idea. So the bottom line is sometimes trades are better than cash. So if you produce good stuff, you can make it happen. Here we go. Let's go inside the snake room. Okay, I can't show you everything I've traded for over the years, but here, let's start out with this little girl. This is from my last trade with my friend Doug. I'm going to show you the snakes that he gave me in exchange for what I gave him. This is a super Enchi clown female. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love Enchi, and super Enchi is even better than Enchi. As you can see, really reduced pattern, just vibrant colors. Love that head stamp there. Look at that thing. Wow. The little mustache on there, really bold eyes. Almost like a interesting, like hieroglyphics on the head. Almost similar to a carpet python. But anything super Enchi is great, because anything I breed this to or breed to her is going to be at least Enchi. So we love to get Enchi into our combinations, because as they say, Enchi makes everything better. Sometimes when you do a trade, you don't need the world's craziest morph in the trade. Sometimes you're just looking for something that's going to help progress a project that you have. And I needed a Yellowbelly Pied. I just didn't have a female. I have males with yellow belly. I needed a female that had yellow belly in it. I wanted a visual pied. And here's a very well-started 2017 female that I got from Doug. Really nice colors. The yellow belly and the pied is very underrated. You know, before there was a million different morphs and mutations mixed into pied, this was a very desirable one. And of course, yellow belly is very, 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 I guess you could say, productive to have in anything, because Yellowbelly makes some crazy stuff, especially some of the acts like supers, the highways, the freeways, you know, among the things that I'm interested in, at least. Obviously the super Yellowbelly being the ivory. You know, I saw Justin Gabilko, I think, produced an ivory pied this year, which is pretty wacky looking. You know, usually you think of ivory as an all white snake, but you could actually see that single stripe down the back. In the ivory form, just broken up, and you can tell it's a pied. This girl doesn't want to participate. She doesn't want to show. She doesn't want to show anything. But I will promise you that this was, once again, not the most expensive part of the trade, but definitely a productive part that I can definitely use in my breeding projects. This male, which was the third snake in the trade, was something that just unbelievably grabbed my attention. First of all, I love candy. A lot of people see the Candino version, which is the acts like super version of the candy. That's candy mixed with albino. Now these are recessives, so usually we don't say they act like super, but sometimes these recessives can share the same allele. So instead of having two copies of the albino gene and producing an albino, you get one copy of the albino gene, one copy of the recessive mutation candy, and you produce a Candino. This is actually a visual candy. So it's candy that also has a blackhead and leopard. Now blackhead and leopard are obviously dark morphs. When you put those super dark morphs and then you add candy to it, you get this cool looking purple snake. Purple and orange. I mean, I should have done a Halloween special on this guy. This looks like a pumpkin to me, right? But these purples, I don't know if they're coming out on camera as much as I can see them in person, are just super cool with that reddish looking eye, which is really not bright red. It's candy red. And I don't even know what I'm going to breed this to. I'm so excited by this guy. Obviously, he's going to need another year to grow up. By next breeding season, we'll be breeding him, but he is exquisite. Great job, Doug, on this one. This is something that I can be proud to say I own. And the final snake in the trade, of course, has to be in shed because, otherwise everything would be perfect. This is what we call the Grail, the Lavender Clown. This is a clown, which is a recessive, plus the Lavender Albino, also recessive, so this is a double recessive. Justin Kabilka, I think, coined this the Grail, or the Holy Grail, when they were trying to first get this thing bred out. But this is the Lavender Clown. This is a female, and Doug did not like giving this up. I know he really loved this snake, but it all worked out. Doug wants to get into boas. I got boas, and he made it worth my while, and I made it worth his while. So we did a great trade. And once again, that's what it's about. I can imagine what it was like trading back in the Columbus's time. No one used money. They bartered. They bartered stuff for stuff. They wanted spices to preserve the food in Europe, and they had to give up trinkets and all the other good stuff that they produced in Europe at the time. So this is my Lavender female clown. This is 2018. So she's got probably 2 years before she'll breed, but gives me plenty of time to find a great male for her and to think about what I want to do with her. But once again, look at the head. Look at those colors. Whoa, that is just amazing. Obviously with the clown patterning. Nice stripe down the back. Lavender Clown, the Holy Grail. And to finish off, I've shown you this boy before. This is my Sunglow Sterling, Sterling being the patternless recessive boa morph. Yes, we're switching the boas now. And Sunglow being the Call albino with the hypogene, so that's a Sunglow Sterling male. I don't know if there's too many of these, if at all, in the United States. This was produced in Germany, and he is exquisite. Hopefully next year he'll begin the breeding project. And this was one of my trades, so this was a great trade I did. And once again, you feel good about yourself sometimes, even though you might give up a lot of stuff, or you might give up stuff you don't really want to. You might want to sell it. You might want to get the cash. But the bottom line is I always find I always spend the cash anyway. So if I could use a snake to barter for something that I really want, or that's kind of cool, that could add to my collection and some of the projects I'm doing, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what today's show was all about. So guys, that was today's show, the trade show. How to take stuff that you got and get other stuff that you want without putting out any money or any cash out of your pocket. And that's always it's satisfying. Sometimes you feel like, all right, you know what, I did good. Yeah, I didn't sell $10,000 worth of snakes and put the money in my bank account, but you know what? I probably would have spent that money anyway. So rather than actually show the money leaving my bank and coming back in, or vice versa, I gave a couple snakes to some guy or a woman who then gave me back some other snakes that I wanted. And so that's what it is all about. And when you have good stuff and you start producing quality stuff that people want, it gives you a little bit more clout and a little bit more ability to be flexible enough so that you can get stuff that you couldn't get before that maybe you had to buy outright in cash. And so I love the whole act of bartering and trading, and that's why I'm always up for it. Sometimes people offer me crazy. Sometimes I have a snake that's worth $5,000, and someone's offering me, 10 snakes that are worth, something that I don't need. So, sometimes not every trade works out. That's the whole key. People think that, if I give people the value of what a snake is worth, then then they have to take the trade. No, the person has to agree to the trade because they want what you have. So it's like trading baseball cards when you're a kid. I need, Joe Torre, you need, Hank Aaron, and we make the trade. Hopefully you guys even know who those baseball players are. That was my childhood back in the 70s. All right, hopefully you guys are having a great time on this Monday morning. Remember, subscribe, turn on your notifications, hit that like button. We'll see you back tomorrow morning.